us dinner.
Who does?
So
I told Greg he has to
one
comment
of
while
those
making us dinner.
one of those two is going to be somebody's not going to be happy about.
Yeah.
So
Also,
what would you rather?
if I freeze, that may happen. We're still trying to figure out why it's happening.
Fucking amateur hour, guys.
This computer should not have this issue. It's
What kind of show is this?
So-
It happens to a lot of guys, Chad. Never with me, though.
so premature freezulation. But next week, if I can't figure out it, I think it's a USB bandwidth issue. But anyway, working on it. All right, I'm gonna hit go live.
a miracle.
Unbreakable, they're alive down there.
Females are strong as hell. Woo!
Welcome, everybody, to the show that is undescribable. This is the people ask us sometimes, what is the show about? And we say, it's kind of about that. And they're like, what does that mean? And we say, exactly. This is Subpellucid. I'm Daniel. This is my co-host, the man whose name we, whenever it's mentioned, there's somebody out there in the world that goes, ooh. My good friend, Chad E.
Probably my wife.
And as usual, we have not prepared well for this show. And we are going to see if we can hit rock bottom or maybe get off of it today. What do you say, Chad?
I think we can get lower than rock bottom. I feel like we could chisel our way deeper into the rock.
Well, it starts by looking the wrong way, because that's what I don't know what that even means. I'm pointing the wrong way.
I don't know. You excited about our guest today?
Well, I am excited about our guest. You know what? I'm going to play a game with you. Let's count. Let's guess how many swear words are we going to hear today?
Oh, sweet mercy. That is our producer in the background.
It is in some places. So, how about we introduce our very esteemed guest today?
Yeah, definitely. I know she's excited. Christine, is it Gritmon? Gritmon?
It's Lane's woman, actually.
Oh, wow, Laney's woman. Well played, well played. You know what? Let's get to know Christine a little bit before we bring her in.
Hey, it's Christine. I'm just testing some fun toys.
Hey, guys.
Oh, who was it who did that? Was it Kelly who showed up with her bobblehead? I do dig the hair on that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Look at the hair on that bobblehead.
I know where you got that.
That's pretty cool.
I know where it came from. Well, as usual, we couldn't bring the real person in, so we got the next best thing.
Or the better thing.
This reminds me of that. This reminds me of that episode of Nancy Lewis Hill was waiting for Tim Stone to show up, and he never did. So she basically just talked to his photo the whole time. If she could pull that off,
that would be great. Tim Stone bobbleheads, making it happen.
Bobblestone.
Ay.
Tim Bobbles on Duncan.
Still on the air.
Because there's nobody to censor us. This is the internet, after all.
And Amy says this show gives her anxiety. It does for us as well. So it's just nice to know that we're not alone. So, Christine, it looks like you've had some work done.
Well, I'm turning 40 next month, so I figured it was time.
Yeah. Well done. Need to get the name of your surgeon.
I think she's just going to stay there.
She's plastic and mute.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Plastic. Well, we'll get to the plastic parts a bit later.
The plastic parts?
Yeah, the plastic.
That's what he said?
And this is just getting started. Alrighty.
That is definitely what he said.
I think it's worthwhile ending.
That's our show for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I guess let's just jump in and, oh, God help us. We're going to try to get to know Christine. Know you, getting to know all about you. Everybody.
I suddenly forgot the words to that song.
All right.
How long is Christine going to last doing an entire show with
I mean, I guess she's wants to have a little bit of an ability to deny that she was ever actually here.
Yeah,
Yep.
trying to break a record.
Don't blame her for that at all.
Well, that explains what what we saw before the show was starting. Okay, so this is the part where we just get to know Christine and get a little chat with her and get to know a bit of the sides of Christine that maybe we don't know out in public, that as that persona that we see out there all the time.
Yeah, I'm keeping it real tonight, boys. Keeping it real.
Keeping it real.
I've always kind of gotten a kind of a fake vibe from her. Just me.
Okay. fake vibe. Well, back to the plastics again. Okay, so this segment, if anybody, if you guys want to ask questions of Christine,
that delay is not the streaming. That's just Daniel.
There's so many questions.
So many questions. And yeah, I don't even know where to begin. But Chad, I think you have maybe you have a question.
I don't know if it's so much a question, but did want to know a little bit about your New York background. Are you born and raised in New York?
I was born in Nyack Hospital, in Nyack, New York, and I was raised in Tappan, New York, which is like 15 minutes away. I went to college in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is like an hour and a half north of that. Then I went 2 hours down the Hudson to New York City. Then I hopped back up here and lived in Pearl River, which is kind of between Nyack and Tappan. And now I am back in Nyack, few short blocks from the hospital where I was born, and still 15 minutes from my parents in Tappan, which is great.
Wow. Was that your husband?
No, I was just wondering if that was Lainey.
Her voice is not that deep. So
I don't know. Well,
I will say I'm impressed. I didn't know that you were so skilled at speaking without moving your lips.
I mean, I do a lot of video, so you get very used to that plastic doll like game show host smile.
Awesome. So you've always, your entire life, you've lived in this corner of New York. So is this Nyack, New York, is just a little bit north of New York City. Is that considered, like, do you consider yourself a New Yorker, as in somebody like part of New York City metropolitan area? Do you consider yourself upstate New York with, or?
Upstate
exactly
is a touchy subject in Rockland County. We are the southern tip of the mainland. Yeah, we're the southern tip of the mainland. We're the lower Hudson Valley. But people from like New York City and Long Island, like, they might call us upstate, but they're wrong. Because if you look at the state of New York, like, it's a huge state, and we're like the very bottom corner of it. So not upstate, but yeah, I would say lower Hudson Valley. I wouldn't say the city for sure. Like, not the city. Like, if you're from Rockland, you are not from New York City, but you probably grew up going to New York City, which is very nice.
So lower Hudson Valley. So what type of persona would that be? Is that like rich and snobby people? Is that like just like seafaring people? Because you're right by the ocean.
Seafaring people.
By the river.
No, we're not seafaring people. No, we're right across the Hudson River in Westchester is like rich and snobby. Rockland is sort of like in between. It's a county that time forgot. So like Westchester is on the other side of the Hudson, and they're very, very, very wealthy. And then Bergen County, New Jersey, which is like the other side of the little wedge of triangle that is Rockland County, is pretty wealthy. And then Rockland's just kind of there. And fuck you, Demanus. We're not upstate. Southern tip of the mainland.
There we go. Counting one.
It's impressive.
One.
Your command
One
of your command of body language is impressive. Very animated.
Facial expression.
By the way,
Very
you're right. I'm not
animated.
wearing pants. These are tights. I have a skirt on.
Well, there you go.
Marissa's
Gentlemen,
asking.
that's our... Go ahead.
Marissa's asking if we've ever been to the Pearl River Street St. Patty's Day Parade. I guess she knows.
Hell yes, it is cray.
It is cray.
Though I have to say, I've been to Pearl River on St. Patrick's Day, of course. I used to be able to walk to the parade. The parade route was at the end of my block. I've spent St. Patrick's Day in New York City. I've spent St. Patrick's Day in Dublin and Galway. But the craziest ever was in your fair city, Daniel, in Southie. I spent St. Patrick's Day, I think 2000, in Southie with my cousin Porrick, who was illegally here from Ireland. And like everyone he talked to was here illegally from Ireland living in Southie. So it was basically, and we were all like 20 years old. So it was a ridiculous, the craziest St. Patrick's Day I've ever had in my life was in South Boston. They started drinking at 6:30 in the goddamn morning.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll show up on the subway with already drinking.
Yeah, at some point I had to say to my cousin, I'm like, so we've been up for like 3 hours. Are we going to eat? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure, I'll get you pizza. But like, I was the only person who ate all day, you guys. Everyone else was just like, drink.
And that's one of your prouder moments?
I'm proud that I ate. I mean, that I didn't just think that I was the person who wanted to actually like soak up the alcohol with something.
Wow.
So you're a bit of a party girl, and you're out there. You're quite an extrovert, and you like to have fun.
Depends.
It depends. So when are you not?
What's a party? Like, I don't remember what that is anymore. Party? What?
This show used to be.
When? Yeah, we used to have a fun show.
I am the party.
I think that
was my point.
If we had to summarize Christine in one hashtag, that would be it.
I am the party.
Yeah,
there's many goof.
There you go. Hey, Christine, I had a question for you. Daniel was doing some recon, and
Yep.
we were curious what it's like to run a digital marketing company, business, whatever, out of a Thai restaurant.
6 Park Street. Got it. Well, that was actually a small office space that was wedged between Weld Realty, which is a real estate firm, and Thai House. And yeah, it was actually a sweet little space. But yes, it was an office space. Thai House is its own thing. And now I want Thai food. So thanks.
You're welcome. This food seems to
I
be
can
kind
actually
of the theme
see it
of this.
from where I am right now. So I'm in my home office now in my attic of my house, and I can actually like look out the window and like see my old office. It's like 2 blocks away.
But can you smell the food?
There's a lot of really good restaurants in Nyack, so I can often smell a lot of good food. But right now, the most wonderful man in the world, Greg Gritmon, is downstairs making me chicken parm. So I hope I'm going to be smelling that soon, Gregory.
So tell us a little bit about Greg. So he's, we know you quite well because you're always out there. And
Greg has to come be a guest. Greg doesn't have a bobblehead, but he's kind of a human cartoon in a lot of ways. So like I'm the boring, unfriendly one. So he'll be fun.
I remember
So
the first time I met you for the second time
The first time you remembered meeting me, that one when you remembered me.
We were social media marketing world, and like, oh, I'm so glad to finally get to meet you in person. You're like, I met you in Denver.
Yep.
Oops. Now I ask Lainey all the time, like, have I met them yet?
Yeah, that's wife's job, kind of.
What'd you say, Daniel?
Right. No, I was wondering what you mean by human cartoon. So what makes him a human cartoon?
He's very animated. He's very expressive. He's very bouncy. He's very fun. He's very energetic.
Unlike Christine, who has the same expression all the time.
Yeah.
And she's standing still. I'd imagine Greg would be all over the place here if he was on the show.
Yeah, Greg would be twitching by now, if he had to sit in a chair for this long. We actually did an interview the other day. A friend of ours interviewed us on Zoom. He works for, I think, this Jewish organization. And we were talking about being an interfaith couple. And we're right here sitting on the chair. And it's funny because I could see, he's not used to being still for that long. When he's on his own meetings, I see him kind of pacing around his little home office with his little Britney earphones on. So he doesn't like being still.
Little Britney earphones.
The thing, the headset that performers use on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. In our generation, we call them Madonna headphones.
Yeah, Madonna headphones, Michael Jackson
Britney.
Headphones, whatever you got.
That's funny.
He doesn't. He leaves the Madonna bra at home though. Well, we are home, I guess. But the cone bra's in the basement.
Kind of like this show. He sat pretty still when we did dinner with you guys, though.
That's true. Well, that's because I had him tied with rope to the chair.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I was digging into his thigh with my nails every time he twitched.
We did a dinner date with these guys through Zoom when COVID first started, and it was fun. I enjoyed that.
It was fun. And you covered up all your crosses with a green screen.
Oh, that wasn't the reason. We were just doing a different background, but and the virtual background, if you have two people in it and you don't have an actual green screen, it really messes with it. So anyway, as riveting as this first little piece has been, Daniel has something special prepared for you. So let's move over to that.
I actually did fart. That's the really funny part. I just farted in real life. A quiche Xennial. What the fuck is a quiche Xennial? Oh, there's two.
Well, we wanted to know the same. So you're sometimes ambivalent about the fact that you're a millennial. And
I'm not a millennial. Millennial begins in 82, and I'm 80, so I am not Gen X, but I'm not a millennial either. I'm in between.
Well,
that's why we
wanted to find out.
It works.
So I believe, because I'm definitely not a millennial, I believe that Xennial means it's like a more PC term for any form of millennial. If you're kind of millennialish, you're
an elderly millennial. An elderly millennial, is that what you're trying to say?
What the Xennials are is that people who were late Xers and early millennials meshed kind of together, and those really early millennials didn't like being categorized and portrayed the way people were portraying millennials, so they decided to come up with their own word because they didn't want people to think they were entitled, so they came up with their own word.
We didn't get participation trophies, and we actually remember pre-internet life.
There you go.
That was
There's a lot of delays. Are you guys in the The other side of the world? What's that?
That's just us trying to process exactly.
Does OBS just suck?
No, that's just our brains trying to process.
That's because
what's
we're
happening.
Gen Xers and we're very slow. Our kids call us
Boomer.
Did you notice that little pause I put in there for dramatic effect?
Mine don't.
Yeah, you're not a boomer. I mean, you're Gen X for sure, but do they say like, okay, boomer?
Okay, boomer. Yeah.
Not my kids.
Well, we came up with a little game for you to see, are you in fact a millennial or not?
All right.
So we found some things that only millennials say, and we wanted to see if you say them and if you know what they mean, or maybe you say them and you don't know what they mean. Let's find out. So let's go for it.
Fleek. I said that the other day in jest. I said fleets were on fleek. Yeah, being on fleek means that it's like cool. Which way am I looking? This way. It means that it's like cool, like it started, I think, with eyebrow culture on Instagram. Eyebrows on fleek. And my eyebrows, as you can see, are always on fleek. But yeah, on fleek means kind of you got your shit together. Oh, third swear. Womp womp. Adulting. Yes, I do know that. Okay, I'm looking a little bit millennial here. But yes, adulting is when I have to like pay taxes, mow the lawn, have a back to school conference with the teacher, iron my shirt, spread my own peanut butter. It's all adulting.
Spread peanut butter. But yeah, oddly enough, you didn't mention kids in any example. Like taking care of my kids? Nah.
Having kids does not make you an adult. Plenty of babies having babies.
That is technically not correct, but okay. Let's move on. I know.
Cancel the ratchet. I know what canceling is, and I know what ratchet is, but I don't know anything about cancel the ratchet unless it means we can finally stop having like ratchet be a thing, especially a thing that like wealthy, privileged white girls like to say, like, you're not ratchet. Shut up.
So the fact that you were able to piece that together was very impressive.
I'm hip to the kids. What can I say?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I love Brian.
I'm
is
on
taking us in
fleek.
a whole different direction. Brian is on fleek, yeah.
FOH. No. And do not put WAP. This is a family show.
I thought it meant front of the house, but that's because I'm an old restaurant guy, I guess.
FOH. I want to try. No, I don't even want to try. No idea. What's FOH? Educate me.
It means F out of here. But I think it's kind of in a good way. I was hoping you would explain, like, when
to use JK.
It. And how do you say it?
Like,
you don't say it, you text it.
Oh.
I
think Brian is saying it.
Gotcha. Brian seems to be hip on all of these things, so.
Oh, yeah.
Brian's lit. Hunty, never heard of. I'm going to guess it's kind of like horny, like you're on the hunt.
Oh, interesting. Well, you're on the hunt. Yes, on the hunt. So this I had to read about because I'm not a millennial. But hunty actually is kind of cool. So it originally comes from like the whole trans community. And it means like you're hunting for clues. Like if you want to find out where somebody bought that dress, but you're not going to just ask them. You're just going to like hunt around. So you'd be hunty.
Would you like stalk their Finsta?
No, I think when you're like in a conversation.
Oh, okay.
Like you're just like talking with them and like throwing out clues to just like see like like get them to disclose rather than you're actually just asking straight out, like, oh, that's a nice dress, and stuff
So
like
like
that.
y'all are being hunty right now, trying to suss out if I'm a Xennial.
We just do this segment so we can get our educational grant money.
Oh, yeah.
I am familiar with the egg pie. That's all.
Egg pie. Okay, you got to explain that one.
Quiche.
It's
Sounds
a
pretty.
culinary dish called quiche, Daniel.
Oh, okay. I thought that was it. Like you're an egg pie.
Your mother's an egg pie.
Quiche apparently means like better than hot. Like
What?
Like tastier than tasty. Like if a girl is like super hot, like more than hot.
That is ridiculous, and I refuse to believe that there are actually young men out there saying a woman is quiche.
I'm willing to bet only girls say that.
Like does it mean they want to take them to, do they mean they want to take them to like a post-coital drunk brunch?
All I know is I'm willing to bet that if there are any guys that say it, they can't spell it.
I would actually bet that if there are guys saying it, they mean it about other guys. Because I think that it is about they want to have quiche with them the morning after. That's got to be the only explanation that's even like remotely okay.
Lainey said, "Stop trying to make quiche happen."
Quiche is so fetch.
I love it. I love the fact that Lainey is watching the show. I mean, that's awesome.
Well, there's no dance this week, so usually she's teaching dance right now, and then we watch the replay together. But
that's a little sus, Chad. Sus, I know, suspect.
I mean, truth is the truth.
It's sus. It's sketch.
Whatever. Don't hate because my wife is so quiche.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Shade. Yeah, we just gave you some shade. We just threw some shade at Chad. Chad is used to shade. Like I think the sunlight hurts Chad's eyes. He's so used to shade.
Wow. I didn't even come up with this game. How am I the one getting beat up on?
Rising sign, like I know that that's an astrological thing, but I don't know it as slang. Like, and I don't know what my rising sign is either, but I know it in terms of astrology. Like you're a Capricorn with a Cancer rising, and I don't know, but
I'm pretty sure your rising sign involves a certain finger.
Oh.
We could take a poll, right? But I'm pretty sure I know how it would go.
Well, rising sign is in fact an astrology thing, but apparently for millennials, rising sign is like a thing. Then astrology is a thing. Like,
girl,
for us, it was like a big joke.
Obviously, I know slay. I slay all day. Yeah. Like Beyonce.
Nice. Okay, wrap it. Come on, keep going.
No.
Oh, I can take it, Amy. Awkward. The moment or the entire show, Marissa?
All the above. I think
turnt is when you're looking good. You know, like I'm turnt. Check out this booty. Turnt.
There's surprisingly good detail on that little doll in the backside. That's amazing. It's like they bothered to like really get it to,
I'm twerking.
Never seen before on Subpellucid, ladies and gentlemen.
There's a reason.
OTP off the. Is someone like off the penis? Like they're pulling Alyssa Strata for a little while? Like
on the potty?
OTP. On the prowl! Oh duh, on the prowl. They're
Not on the
OTP and
phone?
DTF.
OTP. It's
Is that what it is?
before.
On the prowl?
That's what you have. OTP leads to STD.
On the prowl.
Wow. Julie Riley, I know OPP. Yeah. That's because you're an Xer and not a millennial.
Well, they're OTP for OPP.
I know.
Especially if it's quiche.
The STD. STD. So. Wow. Okay.
Or is it on the pill?
On the
If you're OTP and DTF, you better be OTP before you get down with OPP.
ABC.
Well, Chad is a little bit.
These gaps are really long, you guys. Are you like new at this?
We are. No, we just
talking to plastic people. Yes, we're.
Okay, I'll try not to move much for this segment. Also, you moved over here, so I'll face very slightly this way.
Admit it, you've practiced this prop ahead of time.
She had a dress rehearsal.
Look, my arms like kind of line up. I'm really getting into position here. And the fun part is like the real me is actually sitting on a yoga poof right now. All right. I mean, this is the real me. Whatever. Go ahead.
That's not millennial-ish.
So this is the. I still can't figure out if she is or isn't a millennial. I just know she's way more than
she's
we are.
Really young Xer.
Nah, I'm not an Xer. You guys are more bitter than we are.
I'm not bitter.
Thank you very much for that. Yeah.
Gen Xers are very broken. They're very broken people.
The forgotten generation.
If you're on,
I've seen Reality Bites.
If you guys, if you're living with your parents, taking Xanax, and still trying to figure out your life, then you're not a Gen Xer. Let's just put it that way. Okay, we found out this segment is called "Chilling with the Guru" because it's about things that you are a pro at, and we wanted to know what you are a pro at. So we looked you up online, and we found.
Shit! You believed me?
Oh, we didn't believe you. We wanted to find out what other people said about you. And we found that you were actually quoted in the New York Post recently.
About Nyack?
About Nyack and about the COVID refugees moving to the burbs from the city.
The COVID refugees? I didn't think I was in the Post this year. Was I? What did it say?
It was about, I don't know.
She's in so many publications, she loses track.
Well, I have. I was a journalist.
Look at facts here. So, yeah, it was about, people moving from Brooklyn.
I think that was pre-COVID. I think that was just about the fact that Brooklynites all want to live in cute little Hudson River towns.
Well, it still works because we realized that if the New York Post is asking you about life in the suburbs, then you must be an expert about suburban lifestyle.
I am.
So there you go. So
but I've never operated a lawnmower in my life or a grill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you haven't had grass or because somebody else cut it for you?
Somebody else. Because when I was young living in the suburbs, my dad handled those things and I didn't move back to the suburbs until I was married.
Because you didn't want to have to cut grass?
Yeah.
That was your goal? You're like, look, I really want to
cutting
back.
Cutting your own grass is for spinsters.
It's a thing. Grass,
I use a riding mower and my cats sit on my lap.
It's hard to hold this still, you guys. I'm getting a little stiff. Let's move this along. Pick up the pace.
Yeah. Oh no, we're gonna slow down now. I want to see you cramp up.
Well, I volunteered for this job, guys. I'll just let you know.
This job was your idea. Daniel came up with some questions. I'm not really sure exactly what this next one is, so I'm going to let Daniel Daniel.
All right.
So we wanted to know, okay, so if I'm moving from Brooklyn to Nyack and
Yes.
I wanted to, and I miss axe throwing. I wanted to do some more axe throwing like we did back in Brooklyn. What do I do?
Make sure you have enough property. Like, I don't know. I don't know of any axe throwing places around here.
Doesn't just okay, give it up, I guess. What about changing my dress code? How do I dress like a or how would my wife dress like a suburban mom?
It's very similar to Brooklyn. But I would say, I mean, the way you would dress is, like a t-shirt with something witty on it, maybe an open long sleeve shirt over it and jeans. But if you're a Brooklynite, see, the Brooklynites moving up to the suburbs have a whole different level because they got to be hipstery with it. So they have to have like designer denim that's like made to never be washed. But that's not really what the people who are from here do. They just shop at like the mall. Women, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of Lululemon, I guess, but not really. It's hard to know because the thing is, keep in mind, I don't know what people are like anymore. We're in a pandemic. I don't know. I don't remember what people
Everybody
are
seems
like.
very plastic and fake.
It's like, what are people wearing? I don't know. I only see their shoulders.
Okay, but let me ask you this: if you're wearing the Lululemon pants and going and you're seen out there, I don't know if they're called pants or what are they called? Athleisure
Leggings.
And leggings, and you're walking out there with your cappuccino. Are you supposed to actually go to the gym, or do you just wear them to pretend as if you're a gym?
I think people do go to the gym. There's a lot of Peloton now, of course. Lots of Peloton. And in Nyack, actually, Nyack specifically, there's a decent amount of people doing two things in particular. There's CrossFit, and then there's also Nyack Boot Camp. And Nyack Boot Camp is awesome. It's actually mostly kettlebell training, but that's really awesome. It's like kettlebell based circuit training. And it's funny because when I was a member of boot camp, I was like, I should practically write this off as a professional expense because all the like female movers and shakers of Nyack were at Nyack Boot Camp.
What is the correlation, the relationship between kettlebells and kettle corn?
If you do kettlebell training, you can eat more kettle corn without getting fat.
Gotcha. That's just been
and actually, Nyack Boot Camp is run by a soap opera star. It's run by an Emmy-nominated soap opera star, which is kind of cool. So if we want to look like her, we do what she tells us to do.
Is there a lot of drama?
There is not drama. She tells you to leave the drama for your mama. You leave the drama at the door.
Gotcha. Well, that's fair enough. Listen, you also, I know you live in your dream home. It's an older house.
Yep. Yep.
What are some things you wish you would have learned ahead of time that you would give as kind of a heads up to somebody else who wanted to buy an older home?
Like, we haven't had a ton of problems. I guess the fact that old floors get really freaking splintery. So maybe, like, don't be cheap and redo them before you move in with all your stuff. They also get very creaky. So if you care a tremendous amount about privacy or are a light sleeper, maybe don't get an old home. Because I don't know if you've seen the movie Knives Out, but very good movie, Knives Out. And it takes place in a freaking mind-blowing, gorgeous old mansion. And one of the kind of plot points involves the fact that these steps are so creaky and there's a light sleeper who sleeps under them. So she knows exactly what time various people went up or down the stairs because they woke her up. And I'm like, okay, that's going to be my son because he sleeps basically right above the stairs. But so far, so good. But he sleeps with ear things and earplugs.
Interesting. I love old houses. I think it's a cool thing. So.
My house is the best. 1897, baby.
What's the craziest thing you found in it?
I'm disappointed by how few crazy things we found. We found almost nothing crazy. We found an actual iron. So it's a flat, it looks like the iron from Monopoly. It's just like a flat piece of iron, basically, with a handle, and you would just warm it on the fire and iron your stuff. What else did we find? We haven't found much craziness, which is disappointing. But maybe when we start ripping over open walls in the future to like redo them, maybe we'll find some crazier stuff.
Awesome. Well, guys,
By the way,
I don't know about you.
Out.
What?
Hey. I was just going to say, Knives Out was filmed just a few blocks away from my home.
Nice.
Or at least the house that it supposedly took place in.
All right, I'm going to come visit you, Daniel.
Nice.
Because I need to go stand on their front yard and drool until they release the hounds on me.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I need a break.
Oh, I'm looking forward to when Chad picks me up at the airport someday.
One day, someday.
Someday when I'm
just put you in my pocket because you're so small.
Someday when I'm important.
Do I have enough time to go get myself a coffee?
Depends on where you're getting it from, like your kitchen or like Dunkin'.
6 seconds.
Nancy's asking me this is live.
Nobody really cares if
proof
you
of
leave.
point.
Nobody's watching.
Explain this child. This is the child that I mean. What have you done with him? What have you done with his soul?
I wish I had a really good answer to that, but I don't. But
that kid freaks me out. Kind of haunts my nightmares. He reminds me of Backpack Kid from Katy Perry, who introduced the floss to the world.
He does.
I feel like I'm talking to a millennial here.
Yeah, that's fair.
So look, as we do with all of our guests, we kind of just go around the web and social media and just take a look at things you've done and things that are going on, and find some little photos.
Hit me, I can take it.
We have some questions. I think we're really gentle with you, but definitely there's stuff that I felt like there was maybe a story behind. So we'll start with this one.
Okay. That was my headshot from the paper when I was a journalist, and I was trying to encourage people on Facebook to follow me on Instagram.
Have you found, and do you suggest it as a good strategy to your clients to beg for followers?
No.
Fair enough. What did you do to deserve this?
Stole a loaf of bread.
Understandable. From where?
That was in the beautiful nearby Hudson River village of Piermont, New York, in their annual Bastille Day celebration. And yeah, I tried to steal some bread, and there you go.
So you thought it was Best Steal celebration, not Best Deal. Wah, wah. Yes, dad jokes do happen. Was anybody given the opportunity to throw rotten fruit or vegetables at you?
Surprisingly not, which sucked because clearly I was hungry. I mean, I'd stolen a loaf of bread because I was hungry. So I was looking forward to some of those rotten vegetables, hoping some of them had fermented so I could have a real good time, but unfortunately not. And Tim pointed out there's no red hair here. There's no red anything there. But there are bangs, which is another interesting development of this time period in my life.
If we were to get one of these and set it up at the next conference we're all at and put you in it, do you think we'd have a lack of volunteers to throw rotten fruits and vegetables at you?
Honestly, I don't think I'm famous enough yet.
Folks, let us know in the comments.
I can think of a few people. I can think of a few people in the social media world who I would absolutely throw fruit at, but I don't want to mention them on air. They're not watching this show, though. They're too important.
Wow. That is probably true.
Interesting.
That is me and a pig. That is at a pig roast. I believe that particular pig roast was at Peak Skill Brewing Company. I think it was roasted by Dave DeBari of the Cookery in Dobbs Ferry, who's a fantastic roaster of pigs.
Wow. By the way, volunteers rolling in to throw anything basically at you.
Oh, Laura.
There you go.
Oh,
See?
Julie.
You're more
By the
famous
way,
than you
Amy, my
thought.
hand is cramping up.
Well, shout out to Poor Choices.
There's a shout out.
So, okay, so this is back when we used to go to New York Comic Con every year. And I believe this is Conan the Barbarian. I can't see that well from here. I think this was Conan the Barbarian. Though he might have been Conan the Librarian if he had books with him, which he may have because it's Comic Con and people are punny like that.
And what is he showing you on his phone? You giving him your number?
I don't remember what he was showing me on his phone, but I think that part of why Greg took this picture is because it was so funny to see Conan the Barbarian with a smartphone.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's my wrist. So the top star was for my son Josh. And then the outline stars for my daughter Ellie. And I had said that whatever gender I had first was going to get filled in stars. And the other gender, assuming I don't have any non-binary children, would be the other one. And I got one of each and I'm done. And then the red and black nautical star was for Greg, but I didn't want to get a divorce. So I was like, I'm not going to get his name tattooed on me or anything. But on the 10-year anniversary of the day we met, so December 1st, 2016, I live streamed getting that tattoo with Greg on our anniversary.
A smart move of just doing a star instead of a name. That way, if something happens, you can always change the story behind it.
Yeah, I've actually got another tattoo for him and for the kids too, but it also is not names. It's olive branches, 2 olive branches. One is Greg, one is me, and the olive branch with 2 olives on it for Josh and Ellie is me.
Nice.
Where is that tattoo?
That's on the same arm, just further up it. And I got that actually while I was on the road to social media road trip. I got that, I believe, in Denver. So right after I met Chad.
I don't remember that.
Okay.
He has that effect on people.
Yeah. So this is Cherry. So a lot, and I have a feeling I know what picture is after this one. But this is Cherry. And so my family and I, Greg and I weren't like this individually, but together we get really into Halloween costumes, especially with the family. The kids are kind of rebelling against it now, but whatever. So this was 2013 or 13. So Josh, my son, was very little and he was Pee Wee Herman. Greg was John B. the Genie. And I was Cherry. And honestly, part of why I was Cherry is because I was trying to get pregnant that year. And I was like, let's pick a costume where if I'm pregnant by Halloween, it'll still work.
Okay, I wasn't sure where this was going. So
yeah, I was not pregnant at this particular moment, but it was as evidenced by the beer in my hand. But
I thought you just liked the costume because it gave you a place to put your beer.
Yeah, that helped too. But yeah, Ellie got made a month later. At Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
This was also when a lot of this stuff is from back when I worked for the newspaper. So this was my friend Kevin's cover story, actually, about the local escape room that opened in our local mall. And so that was me doing a military themed escape room.
I was wondering why you were dressed like that. I didn't think you had to get all out in, military garb for escape rooms, but
yeah, camo's not usually my thing, but the stuff was, lying around in the room, and I was like, sure, I'll get into costume. I'll get cute.
Well done.
I'm festive. I'm down. Okay, so that, yeah, I did a whole, now we're out of my working for the paper days. This is Christine Gritmon Inc., of course. And I did a whole retro themed photo shoot with like victory rolls in my hair and, a trumpet. And my whole thing was I teach people how to toot their own horn.
Have you ever
which is really still what I do. And it was for a course I was launching called Strike Up the Brand. And the launch failed utterly, but still, I got to use the pictures.
Have you ever played a trumpet?
No, but I played French horn, which is very similar in the physicality of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Just because to me it looked more like you're trying to drink out of a beer bottle, but
yeah.
What's in your trumpet?
That's fair. Lots of someone else's spit.
Yeah, right. Gross.
All right, so this is obviously with Chad. So Chad and Lainey got a bunch of us together in the pre-social media marketing world, like social shenanigans, at Lucha Libre. Is that what it was called?
Mm-hmm.
It's a luchador-themed taco place in San Diego. This one was, I think, in North Park. I don't know, but it was great. It was really fun. A bunch of us got to eat like in this boxing ring or wrestling ring, not boxing. And we got to play with luchador masks. Some of the other people were a little too wary of how many other people's faces this stuff had been on.
So you didn't bring this mask? This was just there?
I mean, yeah. It just gravitated towards my body, like a face sucker, and I couldn't get it off for a little while, but nobody seemed to notice. So I just sipped my Corona through this mask before heading out to the Agora Pulse ambassador party, which hence the Agora Pulse shirt. Contrary to popular belief, I do not wear an Agora Pulse shirt 24/7. That was our final pint of Guinness on our most recent trip to Ireland in 2016. And it was consumed at the after party for my cousin Anne Marie's wedding. So after party, like day after party. They call it the barbecue, but it's not a barbecue. It was just like a party at the roof deck of the hotel. And a lot of the men were watching football, and Greg and I sang at some point randomly. And so this was us looking sad because we were leaving Ireland the next day.
You were sad.
I have a good memory of the stories
or because the beer was almost gone.
Yeah, that too. Is that a red nose? That's me in a red nose. I actually don't remember the story behind this one. It's just me in a red nose.
It was Red Nose Day.
Maybe.
Did he ever do comedy for Red Nose Day?
No, I'm strictly funny on an amateur basis.
So are we.
I'm strictly amateur on a funny basis.
Even that rarely.
I can't really see this. Oh, this is karaoke. The day I got this lovely figurine, actually. This is karaoke, the after party. That was actually between day 1 and day 2, which was unfortunate because you really shouldn't have people hungover for day 2 of your conference, Jess. And this was karaoke. A bunch of us doing karaoke and dancing, and there was some axe throwing, which I was too chicken shit to try. I think there was a mechanical bull. There was all sorts of shenanigans. But I of course, was up for karaoke shenanigans more than anything else.
That was a lot of fun for sure.
I was busy throwing axes while you were.
I was actually really depressed at that conference. I forgot to take my meds day 1. So day 2, I was just kind of in like a stupor. It was very weird. Is this the picture of frogs mating?
It says first date.
Yes. So this is my son. My son is quite the artist and the animal lover and the young budding scientist. And he did out of nowhere, not for school or anything, just like because he's a weird kid, he did a whole poster board about the life cycle of the frog and all sorts of facts about frogs. And yeah, this is frog mating.
On the first date.
On the first date.
I thought this was a family show, Chad.
I just was curious about the first date thing, honestly.
Jesus is watching, Chad.
I think he has better things to do than to watch this show.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's been through enough.
Okay.
I can't see this very well. It's me in front of a cool painted window.
Yeah,
Looking
it looks like
weird.
You're kind of doing a Michael Jackson crotch thing with your hand.
Yes. I was dressed up as Michael Jackson because so this was an awesome thing. My town, Nyack, is very artsy and very fun and very cool. And so for a while, they used to have these nights where they still have these nights at this, well, not in pandemic times, but when it's non-pandemic time, this guy, Glenn, he gets together this group of people to just drum. And some of them are like professional musicians like Glenn, but then they just have like bongos and stuff for everybody who feels like it. And they gather in the side room of this Mexican restaurant to just kind of drink and dance and drum. And for a little while, they started having in that side room, one of my favorite artists, Lauren Rudolph, amazing artist. She would draw on these huge pieces of paper on the wall the basic outline of a celebrity, whoever the theme was for that night. This was like an 80s theme or something. And so it'd be a theme and like a lot of the music would play around that theme. And we would all there was paint out for everyone and everyone would just together just paint on the wall and paint these awesome pieces of art of these celebrities. And then after a bunch of these had happened, there was an event at this same place where they auctioned them off to benefit the Pride Center. It was really awesome. So this was me drinking and dancing and painting at a Michael Jackson themed event.
Well, and you did it very well. So. Wow.
I heard there was.
Let's start over.
Oh, we've got the timer already going. Wait.
I figured she was in an advanced class, but
let's just get us done with. Yeah. So, Amy was asking, is the show over yet? No, Amy, we're gonna keep going. We're just gonna keep going on and on and on. So, almost done. Okay, so 30-second marketer. We have you're gonna. What is this? What is the segment about? Oh, that's right. We're gonna give you a topic, and you're gonna have to market that in 30 seconds. Are you ready?
So I'll have to market it. Like I'm gonna have to like put some spin on it. You're gonna give me basically some shit to sell.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what the product is.
That's number 4.
It's a course.
Awesome.
A course. A training program, whatever.
Training program. Because there are not enough training programs out there on the web.
No.
For people.
By the way, Christine, I'm noticing I've kind of picked up on it watching the show today. You do a lot of NLP, right?
You're not seeing my hands right now.
That's probably a good thing.
So, are you ready?
It's a horror movie.
Born ready.
So the product you're going to market now is a course on how to launder money through Thai food restaurants.
Like at 6 Park Street in Nyack, New York?
Yes, we actually found photos of the inside of your actual home, and but we instead posted this one here of your office.
So got them from Tim Sohn. He said he took them.
I'm so confused.
So you ready to market the new course on how to launder money through Thai food restaurants?
Am I marketing the course or am I giving you the outline of the course? Like, am I giving you actual tips on laundering money through a Thai restaurant? Or am I trying to get you interested in doing so?
We didn't think it through that far.
Yeah. The marketing plan for this course. You've got to sell it.
This is like The Apprentice. Shit. All right.
Yes, don't get fired.
Starting a timer or what?
Yep, here we go.
Do you want to launder money? Is it a pandemic still where you live, or have people just decided it's over like in Texas? Well, if you'd like to launder money and stay at home and not die and kill people, have I got an opportunity for you? food service, delivery, Grubhub. You arrange it so that people give money. Yeah. Buy my course. 30 seconds is not a lot of time, bro.
It felt like a lot of time.
That's because we're on Subpellucid.
Subpellucid. It means time slows down.
Yeah, dramatically.
At least somebody knows what the hell it means.
Actually, what it does mean is pellucid
Nobody cares,
means transparent, and subpellucid means not quite transparent.
Nobody cares.
Thanks, Daniel. Good to have you in my life.
With the tape in the middle that I pulled out of our costume bin.
They were very nice. Daniel,
am I getting into that elevator? Like, what's the story?
You want to run her through it?
Okay, yeah, you got 60 seconds to, while we're all in the elevator, to basically, do your spiel as you interfaith couples like to say. Throw it at us. Everything you've gotten. 60 seconds.
Would you be able to do a spiel about what the hell this segment is in that amount of time? Because it doesn't sound like it.
Your elevator pitch. No.
So look, the elevator's going to
because we don't even know.
An elevator pitch shouldn't involve 10 minutes of umming and ahhing and sort of.
And this is
Pro
your
tip.
chance to show us. This is your chance to show us. Exactly. So get your plastic fake butt in the elevator. And we just hope it doesn't open back up. Ready, go.
Okay, so what I do actually for a living. So what I do is I help people put themselves out there online and make sure they're not hiding behind a brand or a logo or a doll. They show up as real human beings and get their message across in a really meaningful way and develop real followers who actually care what they have to say and who they can help. And I do this through social media training and through personal brand coaching. You can do it. You have an awesome story to share. You have awesomeness to share with people who need it. So I help you get out of your own freaking way and get it out there on the internets. Bing. Oh, look, we're done.
Now we just have to sit in awkward silence. I thought you had to get
Who
the
farted?
gab. Oh, please open the doors. Open the doors. There's nothing worse than a plastic fart.
Pressing the button over and over.
Emergency. There's somebody laying flat there on the floor. Oh, sweet Lord in heaven, help us.
Oh, crap. Some Cuervo. You guys better be right about this. I look terrible, so.
Pardon me. All right. Oh, my hair's doing interesting things. Keeping it real. Right, bottoms up. So, if I wind up not getting my son's flu or my daughter's diarrhea, we have my friend Dr. Cuervo to thank.
I love it that it took you by surprise and you're kind of interpreting what you just saw here. So it's like,
yeah, I mean,
don't remember this at all.
Yeah, Fauci is totally all over the Cuervo.
I mean, it seems like people would jump on that a lot more than they would the mask thing, especially in Texas.
It's hard to drink tequila through a mask. I think that's a problem that Texas is having.
But it can be done.
Yes.
It's like waterboarding that burns.
Not gonna touch that one.
Ay. Well, Christine.
Ay, Dios mío.
Well, you managed to keep Leo Mandel up. I think it's like 4 a.m. for him or something. So that you've been an amazing guest. If in addition to our audience here, but that's
we've never had a guest smile the whole time, and so that meant a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, you usually they cry after the show.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, well, I'm just taking a note here never to invite Christine again because, she's just a phony.
No, I like her. Her eyes are mesmerizing, and I think they captivated the crowd today. Look at that just like the light kind of sparkles
lip gloss on
perfectly.
Fleek.
Shimmering
on
lip
fleek,
gloss on fleek,
and all the other words that I didn't understand or know.
All the things are on fleek.
Yes,
Booty
you are
on
definitely.
fleek.
You know, I think one of the questions I think most people have is what you're going to do with all that junk in your trunk.
So, fun story about that song.
Wow.
So Greg and I were doing karaoke as we are wont to do, or were before we had children. And so I was heavily pregnant with our first child, and we were at a party and we were doing My Humps as a duet because it's a very romantic duet. And Greg got to the line, "What you gonna do with all that breast inside your shirt?" And I deadpanned and looked at him and I said, "Feed your son." And the song was just over. No one could continue after that.
Well, I think I speak for everybody when I say thank you for leaving with us with that image. And
fantastic and plastic. I love that, Fiona.
Yeah. That. I don't even know if we have sponsors left at this point.
By the way, we really do have images of the inside of your house.
I believe it. So the first time I learned Greg's last name when we were dating, I saw it written because we were on Instant Messenger, and he said Gritmon. I said, "Oh, so it's like, why did the Jamaican say he doesn't like sex on the beach? The Gritmon." And he's like, Little did I know I myself would be taking on that last name less than 2 years later.
There you go. And
I think we broke a few records here. This was the longest show ever. At least it felt that way.
No,
it wasn't.
Well, because it had the longest pauses in between things.
Nancy's was the longest.
There's a lot of
like the longest show ever. It was. I think we hit rock bottom here again, so that's good.
Yeah.
And we're still on.
All right. Well, Chaniel and Dad, you've been swell.
Which one am I?
Am I supposed to be offended by? I don't know, Chad. Are we spending too much time together?
I mean, there were some awkward dreams on Thursday last week.
Christine's?
God, I hope not.
How do you know Christine's dreams? This is really awkward.
Well, you have pictures of the inside of my house, although that's not hard to get given that my house literally has an Instagram account devoted to it. But,
that
super
you did, or somebody else?
That I did.
I mean, I'm just saying, from what we could tell, it looked like somebody else had done it. So, by the way, Tim Sohn takes incredible pictures.
He hasn't been in my house, so he has been to Nyack.
No, you could tell there was a glare on the window. He wasn't inside.
Fair. I do kind of feel like I live in a fishbowl. It's a very heavily traversed street.
Hey, I'm going to go ahead and stop the actual stream while we're chatting because who knows what you're going to say. So that was our big ending.
That was it? That was a big finale?
Yeah.
Always leave them wanting less.
That's our motto.
Our motto at the grotto.
Well,
that was a fantastic waste of time.
Oh, holy shit.
I can't believe you did the whole freaking thing. That is impressive.
It was. I don't know if
I have to change hands at all.
I couldn't because of the angle that I was sitting at, and I have arthritis, so my hand really does hurt now.